Okay, so let's imagine a world where you can inspect bridges, survey landscapes, and even monitor crops, all without leaving your desk.
That's the power of drones these days, isn't it?
It really is, and more and more businesses are realizing this and wanting to kind of jump on board.
Yeah, definitely.
But, it can be pretty daunting, especially in a place like the UK with all the rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
So you sent us this blog post, and I think it's going to be really relevant to a lot of our listeners because it's called Choosing the Right Drone Partner for Your Business, a comprehensive guide.
Catchy title.
It's catchy, and it's packed with advice.
Yeah, and it's written by Terry Ormiston,
All right.
who's the founder and director of Horus Drones.
So he really knows his stuff then.
Yeah, I mean, he even wrote a previous guide on UK drone law, so it seems like he really gets it, all the ins and outs of this world.
He does. And one thing that really struck me reading this blog post is how much it emphasizes that it's not just about finding someone who can fly a drone.
Right.
It's about finding a trusted advisor.
Absolutely.
Someone who understands your specific needs.
Yeah, someone who can be a real partner in helping you achieve your business goals.
Exactly. And crucially, someone who operates within the law, because that's a big deal.
Huge. Yeah, the blog post does a great job of outlining all those areas where a drone partner's expertise can really make a difference.
Yeah.
Things like inspections in agriculture, even search and rescue operations.
Yeah. And, one thing that caught my eye was that it mentions that Horus Drones is ICO data protection registered.
Yeah, that's important because it means that they've demonstrated compliance with the UK's data protection laws.
So what does that actually mean for the listener?
Well, it means that they've taken the necessary steps to protect any personal data that they collect and process.
So it's all above board, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It adds an extra layer of trust and security because, they're handling sensitive information responsibly.
Okay. And safety and compliance with UK drone laws. Those seem to be really big themes in this blog post.
Yeah, it's woven throughout.
Yeah. What really jumped out at you about how the blog post addressed this?
Well, it really hammers home that point that you need to verify any potential partner's adherence to all those CAA regulations.
So the Civil Aviation Authority.
Yeah, that's right. And that includes things like pilot licensing, drone registration insurance, all that stuff.
So it's not just about, are they a nice person? Can they fly a drone?
Exactly. There's a whole legal framework that needs to be followed.
Right. And they even mentioned a specific type of certification called an OA.
Yeah, an OA stands for Operational Authorization. And it's needed for any kind of complex operation.
So what kind of thing?
Like flying beyond the pilot's visual line of sight, BVLOS.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so not every drone partner is going to have that. So it's something to think about, depending on your needs.
Yeah, it's like different levels of expertise almost.
Exactly.
And the blog post goes into quite a bit of detail about data management and security as well.
Yeah, because drones collect so much data. Images, videos, sensor readings.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So it's really important to understand how that data is going to be handled.
So, what sorts of questions should our listener be asking potential partners?
Well, first of all, how do they store the data?
Okay.
How do they analyze it? How do they ensure its security? These are all crucial questions.
And then there's the question of insurance as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Insurance is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
The blog post highlights the importance of public liability insurance and drone-specific insurance.
So why is that so important?
Well, because you need to be covered in case of any damage or accidents. You don't want to be left footing the bill if something goes wrong.
No, especially if it's something out of your control.
Exactly. You need to have that peace of mind.
Yeah. And speaking of Horus Drones, the company behind this blog post, how do they actually measure up to all this advice?
Well, I think the blog post itself kind of highlights the benefits of partnering with them.
Right.
They emphasize their expertise, their commitment to safety and compliance, their data management practices, their comprehensive insurance coverage. So they're really putting their best foot forward.
Yeah, it's interesting how they kind of weave in their own value proposition while also providing this genuinely helpful information.
It's a smart strategy, I think, because they're establishing themselves as thought leaders in the drone space, and that builds trust with potential clients.
Right, because you think, okay, they know what they're talking about. They're giving us all this free advice.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They must be the good guys.
They must be the experts.
Yeah. So what does all this mean for you, dear listener? If you're thinking about using drones for your business, choosing the right partner is absolutely crucial.
It's not just about the coolest tech you need to dig deeper.
Exactly. Don't just get starstruck by the drones themselves.
Yeah, look at the bigger picture.
Think about all these things we've been talking about. Compliance, data, security, insurance, expertise, all of that.
And if you do your homework and keep those things in mind, you'll be well on your way to finding a drone partner who can really help your business take off.
Pun intended.
Of course, pun intended.
And if you're curious about exploring those UK drone laws in a bit more detail, there's a link to Terry Ormiston's previous guide in the blog post.
So check that out.
Yeah, definitely check that out. And remember, the best drone partner isn't just someone who flies a drone.
Right.
It's an extension of your team,
Yeah, a true collaborator.
helping you achieve your business goals safely and effectively.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing the blog post didn't mention is the potential environmental impact of using drones.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, it's a complex topic, but definitely something to consider as you embark on your drone journey.
Yeah, worth thinking about for sure.
Do you think the benefits of drone technology outweigh any potential drawbacks?
That's a good question.
It's something for you, dear listener, to ponder.
Food for thought.
Food for thought indeed.
So we've talked a lot about finding a drone partner.
Yeah.
You know, one that ticks all those boxes: expertise, compliance, data security. But
Yeah.
the blog post also mentions this idea of working with a company like Horus Drones as a DISAS provider.
Okay, DIES. So what's that all about then?
DISAS stands for Drones as a Service. So basically, instead of buying your own drones, hiring pilots, and dealing with all the complexities of running your own drone program,
Yeah.
you outsource it all to a specialized company.
So it's like instead of, building a house yourself, you're hiring a contractor who specializes in houses, but for drones.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. You get all the benefits of drone technology without the headaches of managing everything in-house.
I like that. Makes sense.
And the blog post really highlights several advantages of this DISE approach.
Such as,
Well, they talk about efficiency and cost effectiveness.
okay, so how does it actually make things more efficient?
Well, think about it. If you were to set up your own drone program, you'd need to invest a lot up front.
Yeah.
Buying the drones themselves, the software, the equipment,
All the training,
training, maintenance, keeping up with those ever-changing regulations.
it just sounds like a lot.
It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
But with DANUS, you bypass all of that.
Oh, great.
You basically just tell your provider what you need.
Yeah.
And they take care of everything: the flight planning, the data collection, the analysis, the reporting, the whole 9 yards.
So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for all your drone needs.
Exactly. It's streamlined. It's hassle-free.
And I guess because you're saving so much time and resources, it ends up being more cost-effective as well.
Exactly. You know, time is money, as they say.
That's true. And what about the reduced risk aspect that the blog post mentioned?
Yes. Well, as we've discussed, complying with UK drone laws is crucial,
Yeah.
and it can be a real challenge to stay on top of everything.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you work with a reputable DANUS provider, like, say, Horus Drones,
Yeah.
they assume that compliance burden for you.
Right. So you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. They have the expertise, the certifications, the insurance to make sure everything's done by the book.
Okay, so you can focus on running your business.
Precisely. And have that peace of mind knowing that your drone operations are in capable hands.
That's a big weight off your shoulders, I imagine.
It really is.
Now, the blog post paints a pretty rosy picture of the DAS model,
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
especially with a partner like Horus Drones. Are there any potential drawbacks that we should be aware of?
Well, like with any outsourcing situation, I suppose there's always that potential for a loss of control.
Yeah, you're handing over the reins a bit.
Exactly. You're trusting another company with a crucial part of your operations. So
You got to be careful.
you got to choose wisely.
Right, so how do you know if a DAS provider is actually trustworthy?
Well, that's where you need to do your due diligence.
So, like, what kind of things should you be looking for?
Look for a company with a solid reputation, a track record of reliability and transparency.
Yeah.
Check out independent reviews, maybe even talk to some of their existing clients.
So do your research, basically.
Exactly. Don't just jump in blindly.
Okay, so if our listener is intrigued by this DAS model, but a little bit hesitant, what would you say are the key takeaways they should be thinking about?
Well, if you're excited about the possibilities of drones, but not quite ready to invest in your own program, DAS is definitely worth exploring.
It's a way to get your feet wet without diving in head first.
Exactly. You can test the waters, see if it's right for you.
Okay.
And remember, it all boils down to finding a provider you can trust, someone who understands your needs and who's committed to safety, compliance, and, of course, delivering results.
Okay, so Trust but verify.
Always a good motto.
Now, while we've been talking a lot about this, practical side of choosing a drone partner and the DASIS model, there's another layer to this that we need to discuss,
Oh, right.
and that is data security.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, drones are basically flying data collection devices.
Exactly, and that raises some big questions about how all that information is handled. We've been talking about choosing the right drone partner and all the ins and outs of the DAVIS model,
Yeah.
but let's not forget that drones are essentially flying data collectors.
That's right. They're gathering tons of information, which is incredibly valuable for businesses, but it also raises some big questions about data security.
And this blog post really stresses that, data management and security are not an afterthought. They're crucial parts of drone operations.
Absolutely. It's not just about collecting the data. It's about handling it responsibly and ethically.
So what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, businesses need to be thinking about things like secure data storage,
Right.
how that data is processed, and of course, making sure everything's compliant with data protection regulations like GDPR.
So it's about protecting sensitive information,
Yeah.
being mindful of privacy.
Exactly, and making sure that the data collected is actually used for its intended purpose.
So when you're evaluating potential drone partners, what are some key questions you should be asking about their data security practices?
Well, I think the first thing I'd want to know is how they store and protect the data they collect.
Okay, so like what kind of security measures do they have in place?
Exactly. Are they using secure servers? Is the data encrypted? What are they doing to prevent unauthorized access or data breaches?
Yeah, because a data breach would be a disaster.
Absolutely. It could damage your reputation, cost you money, and even lead to legal problems.
And then I guess you also want to know about their data processing and analysis capabilities.
Yeah. Can they make sense of all that data and present it in a way that's useful for your business?
Right, because data is only useful if you can actually understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do they have the expertise to extract meaningful insights from the data?
Okay.
Can they provide clear, concise reports that are tailored to your specific needs?
And of course, compliance with data protection regulations is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. You need to be confident that your drone partner is handling data in a way that follows all the relevant laws and regulations.
Especially GDPR here in the UK.
Yeah, GDPR is a big one.
And the blog post does mention that Horus Drones is ICO data protection registered.
Right, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
It means they've demonstrated compliance with the UK's data protection laws.
So they're ticking that box.
Yeah, they're taking data security seriously.
It's not just about, saying the right things.
Exactly. It's about actually putting those practices into place.
So in the end, it comes down to choosing a drone partner that you can trust.
Absolutely. Someone who has the technical know-how and the ethical and legal awareness to handle data responsibly.
Okay, so to wrap things up, what are the key takeaways for our listener when it comes to data security in the world of drones?
Well, first of all, be aware of the potential risks.
Yeah.
Drones gather a lot of data, and you need to understand how that data could be misused.
Okay.
Second, don't be shy about asking tough questions. Grill those potential drone partners about their data security practices.
Don't be afraid to get into the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. And third, look for partners who are transparent and prioritize compliance.
Right, so they should be open about how they handle data.
Yeah, and willing to prove that they're following all the rules.
And lastly, trust your gut.
Yeah, if something doesn't feel right, don't be afraid to walk away.
It's your data, and you have the right to choose a partner who will protect it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, this deep dive into choosing the right drone partner has been really eye-opening, I think.
It has. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, from the importance of expertise and compliance to the pros and cons of drones as a service, and of course, all those crucial aspects of data security.
It's clear that drone technology is rapidly evolving.
Yeah.
And it's changing the way businesses operate.
Yeah.
But like with any new technology, there are risks and challenges to consider.
Absolutely. And finding the right partner is key to navigating those challenges and really unlocking the full potential of drones.
Couldn't agree more. It's not just about finding someone who can fly a drone. It's about finding a trusted advisor, a true partner who understands your needs.
Someone who prioritizes safety and compliance.
Exactly. And someone who handles data responsibly.
So as you embark on your drone journey, keep these insights in mind. Do your research, ask those tough questions, and you'll be well on your way to a successful and rewarding experience.
Happy flying.
Happy flying indeed. And one final thought to leave you with, as drone technology continues to advance, we're likely to see even more innovative applications.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds even further. How will these developments shape the future of your industry? That's something for you to ponder.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Food for